So we're at the halfway stage of the Formula One 2025 season, and it's only a matter of time that we rate our top 5 drivers in Formula One in 2025. Absolutely correct. There is a lot of data that we've gathered. We've had 12 races in the 25 season, so let's get things started. And I'm going to start things off in 5th place with Mr. Nico Hülkenberg. Whoa, Pete, what's going on? What are you doing? Is it recency bias? Of course it is, but let me tell you something. Nico Hülkenberg is just fresh off the heels of a podium place in the Kick Sauber. So let's have that right, okay? Nico Hülkenberg has got a podium place. Now, anytime he would have got the podium, he would have been elite in my estimation, okay? He would have finally crossed over that hurdle. It's been, nearly just under 300 races in Formula One where the man has not got a podium place, and he was the only driver to do so. Thank God he finally got it. At Silverstone, a race where it was a lot of carnage, a lot was going on. I think back to Nico Hülkenberg in the German Grand Prix when he could have got, I think, was it a P2 in that Renault, and it was wet conditions just like the British Grand Prix. But it wasn't meant to be because the weather was just treacherous and we did not get to see that podium. But in the British Grand Prix, we finally did. But listen, let's go a bit further. Nico Hülkenberg, right, is in a Kick Sauber in 2025. Now, the Kick Sauber has improved. It's got better over time. Let's have it right. They've got the right pieces in place, okay? I'm seeing Mattia Binotto. I'm seeing Wheatley, yeah? These guys are in there. They're doing their thing. But if you told me a Sauber driver in the Drivers' Championship is P10, I'd say you're bluffing. I'd say you're on drugs. I'd say we need to test you and find out what is actually going on with you, because that is exactly what has happened. Nico Hülkenberg is 10th place in the Drivers' Championship. He's got 22 points in a Sauber. Do you understand what that means? This is serious stuff, okay? This is a man who's ahead of both Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, Carlos Sainz, Gasly, Tsunoda. We're talking about serious, good, half decent drivers here. And when it comes to talking about half decent drivers, not a lot of people talk about Nico Hülkenberg. And I think it's time that we should. Because he's got a hell of an amount of points. He's got 22 points this season. Obviously, a big bulk of that helped by the P3 finish at Silverstone. Hey, listen, he's done it. He had to make it happen. And the guy has been nothing short of phenomenal. I think he's been fantastic. I think what Sauber have done over the period of the season has been phenomenal. This was one of the worst cars, if not the worst, at the start of the season. In testing, Sauber was granted to be the worst car imaginable. So too was it last year as well. And remember, he came from Haas last season, right? So this is a new team. Sauber, by the way, got 2 new drivers, even Bortoleto. Shout out to Bortoleto because he's also got points, in the Kick Sauber. But he's moved to a new team, Hülkenberg, and he's getting points comfortably. And then he's getting on the podium. I'm sorry, P10 in the Drivers' Championship after 12 races. This isn't a fluke. This is by merit. Nico Hülkenberg is exactly where he should be by merit. So shout out to Nico Hülkenberg, who is 5th place, of course, in my mid-season, mid-ranking review in terms of half-term. Let's call it half-term. P4, Mr. Isaac Hadjar, excuse me, come to the stage, because this is a rookie. This is his first season in Formula One. And you know what? He's P11 in the driver's standings with 21 points. This is phenomenal scenes, Jeff. He has been the best rookie in 2025. And you know what's funny? He was probably the least favorite of the 5 that joined in Formula One this year. Was it 6 even, depending on where you stand with Liam Lawson and the whole thing. How on earth is Isaac Hadjar doing with it? And bear this in mind as well. You remember what Hadjar's first race of the season was like? Or his, he crashed on the formation lap in Australia. And ironically, he crashed again at the British Grand Prix as well. Listen, maybe the wet weather's not his thing. And that's fine. He's a rookie, he's young, he'll learn, he'll develop, he'll grow. But I'm sorry, Isaac Hadjar being P11 in the Drivers' Championship is phenomenal. And not only that, when Yuki Tsunoda was at the RB, he was doing well against Yuki Tsunoda. But then when Liam Lawson's now coming to the RB after being sacked by Red Bull, or let's say swapped by Red Bull, I'm sorry, Isaac Hadjar is doing wonders over Liam Lawson. He's killing him. At least what, is it 9 points, the difference between the 2 drivers? But again, you're a rookie and you're not even like in the most dominant car. You're not even like one of the, maybe you're in a Mercedes. Kimi Antonelli, for example, is like P7 in the Drivers' Championship. He's in a Mercedes. Okay, so there's a bit of like, you got to take it with a pinch of salt a little bit. But in a racing bull, which hasn't pulled up a tree in years, in absolute years, this guy is P11 in the Drivers' Championship. He is doing an outstanding job. He has been so impressive. You find him having those like P6 finishes, or he's in the top 10. He's getting into Q3. Excuse me, Isaac Hadjar. You know what? Fair play to you, because I didn't even give him a prayer. Not that I thought he was terrible. I just didn't know nothing about him. And even when you talk to the people that are into the F2 and F3s of this world, Hadjar's name was not being talked about when it came to these rookies. We were talking Behrman. We were talking Kimi Antonelli. We wanted to see what the others would do. Bortoleto was the champion. Do you know what I mean? So to see Isaac Hadjar doing what he's doing, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Credit to Isaac Hadjar. You've done a fantastic job so far this season. And the last couple of races towards the end of this sort of midway point hasn't been great, but I cannot ignore, let's say 10 out of the 12, maybe 9 out of the 12 races. There's a good enough bulk there. He has been phenomenal. He is the best rookie so far, halfway point of the season. He's the best rookie on the grid. There's no doubt about it. P3 in my list, on the podium now, Alex Albon. And I tell you, the number one reason for Alex Albon is over the years, it's just been consistency from him. Alex Albon has been nothing short of phenomenal, especially in that Williams. Now the Williams, we've seen an upward curve with them. We might be at the peak of that curve because it looks like it's heading down. We might be at the beginning of the end of what the fantastic trajectory that Williams was on. But Alex Albon, even when the Williams was garbage, right, was utter garbage, he was still really good. He was still plucking points away. I remember I did a review the 2023 season midway, and he had something like 8 points in the Williams that's at the back of the grid. So he was putting in a shift. And I mentioned the point that Alex Albon is don't forget, is one of the reasons why the Red Bull was dominant in 23-24, because of the simulator. He was doing a lot of work with Red Bull when he wasn't having an actual driving seat in Formula One. So Alex Albon has been plugging away. And the other argument you could have made, or criticism you could have made for him this season was, do you know what? He's not really had a decent driver to be up against. Whether it was Latifi, whether it was Logan Sargent, he hasn't really had competition. Okay, in comes race winner, is it 2-time, 3-time race winner, Carlos Sainz. Multiple podium place, man. Driven for Ferrari, done a phenomenal job at Ferrari. Unlucky to lose his seat at Ferrari. Done phenomenally well at McLaren. So Carlos Sainz steps into the building, and now I'm like, okay, Alex, let's see your worth, because I'll keep it frank. I genuinely thought Carlos Sainz was going to do better than Albon this year. Not because I don't like Albon, but I just think about the fact that Carlos Sainz is way more experienced. I think about the fact that Alex Albon just hasn't had that competition. The last time he had a serious driver next to him, his name was Max Verstappen. What happened there? You know the rest. Because what Max Verstappen seems to do is when a number 2 driver, in fact, it even starts from the days of Danny Ricciardo. He got Danny Ricciardo running away from Red Bull. He's got Gasly sacked. He's got Albon sacked. He's got William Lawson sacked. Perez has had to go. So Max Verstappen just comes here and just axes all of his teammates. And Alex Albon's really last real serious competition. So Carlos Sainz steps into the building and you think, oh boy, here we go. And I was like, yo, let's get ready to swing. If this Williams is anywhere near serious, we could have a really good, real good fight on our hands here. Unfortunately, Carlos Sainz has disappointed me this season. But Alex Albon has been nothing short of phenomenal. P8 in the Drivers' Championship with 42 points in a Williams. P8 in the Drivers' Championship. That is not something to laugh at. I've raved about Nico Hülkenberg, he's ahead of him. I've raved about Isaac Hadjar, he's ahead of him. The only reason I think he's behind Kimi Antonelli in the first place is because Antonelli's in a Mercedes. Imagine Alex Albon in a Mercedes. That would look phenomenal. So Alex Albon has done nothing short of phenomenal stuff. It's just the fact that he's like he's just growing steadily. And you know what's interesting about him as well? His team radio and everything of that nature, he is not satisfied. He's not happy. He's fed up with them. Every single week you think, my goodness, what's wrong with him? Why is he so upset with his team? He demands so much from the team. He's always criticizing them in terms of he's always giving them feedback. He's always telling them what you think you should do and what you shouldn't do. This guy is seasoned, He's been here for a long time and we seem to forget that. And I can understand why people would forget Alex Albon being somebody. You can look at Alex Albon and you might think he's still a rookie or a newbie. You look at Gasly and you have to remind yourself, oh my God, these guys have been here doing a long shift now. At least 5, 6, 7 years maybe. They've done stints here in Formula One. And don't get me wrong, Albon's been out of the championship before. He's been out of the Formula One grid, and he's come back, and it's like, yeah, where's my bag? Let me pick up where I left off. Alex Albon's been nothing short of phenomenal, and the most impressive thing, 2 things: consistency and the fact that he's beating Carlos Sainz this season. Fair play to him. Number two on my list. This is why this guy is the best in the business. Max Verstappen is the best in the business. He is the best driver in Formula One. Because when you think about that Red Bull, every man and his dog knows that is a cart horse of a car at the moment. That the car is not good. That the car is not great. Having said that, I'm seeing Max Verstappen take pole positions. And not by fluke. When he does the pole position, you sit there and you think, sorry, what? How did he do that? When he took that pole position in Japan, what? When he took the pole position at Silverstone, when it was all about McLaren this, maybe Ferrari, and then, the George Russells of the world. And Max just said, wait a minute, if McLaren and whoever else are going to make mistakes and make small detail mistakes, I am going to be there. And if there's one thing I'll give Max Verstappen credit for this year, because the title is never been on the line for him this season. It was never there. The car is that bad. It's never been there for him. And yet what we are seeing time and time again is that if you fall and slip, I will be there. He can't be having multiple pole positions in 2025 in this Red Bull. That's clearly a cart horse. A Red Bull team that is so dysfunctional. It's lost all kind of personnel. It's gone through all kinds of controversy. It's not good. And yet in the midst of all of this, some way, somehow, Max Verstappen seems to pull out miracles. Because even in say the British Grand Prix, for example, horrific day for him. And he finished P5. All sorts of things were happening for him. He could not get this car to work. And he's crawling it to P5. He's doing unbelievable stuff. 155 points this season, right? And just to give you context, the Red Bull Constructors Championship is 162 points. That is correct. So Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson, if he even got any points, they've got 10 points of those constructors, of those 162 points. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen, 155, so even less than 10 points. It's like 8 points. What are we talking about here? He's 50 points behind Lando Norris in P2. Who Lando Norris is constantly, he's in that title race, he's in the fight, he's there. And yet he's 50 points. If by some miracle 2 DNFs happen for Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri obviously, but let's talk Lando Norris. If there's 2 DNFs for Lando Norris and Max wins 2 races, he's right next to him. He's next to him. And he shouldn't be anywhere near him. But you know why he will be near him? Because this guy is world class. Max Verstappen is world class. Full stop. He's a phenomenal Formula One driver. Unbelievable what he's done. But you know what? Number 1, P1 this season. Do you know who the number 1 driver, the best driver in Formula One is at the halfway point of this season? Is that man, Mr. Oscar Piastri. Shall I tell you why? There's a couple of reasons why. This McLaren that has evolved and has got better and better over the years. The person who you thought would take the keys, the person that you thought that would take the reins and say, yes, this is my time. Do you know who we all thought that would be? Lando Norris. Even last season in 2024, Lando Norris seemed to be the leader of the 2 drivers, seemed to be the better one with the better results last season. I don't know what Oscar Piastri drank or ate or what weights he lifted, what the cardio was, what the regime was over the winter. But this boy said, excuse you me, yeah? If you think this is gonna be a Lando Norris festival, you got another thing coming. You've got another thing coming. Oscar Piastri has been right there with Lando Norris. And if not even just right there, ahead of him. And you know what, maybe, if it wasn't for Lando's mistakes in, say, qualifying and here and there on the race and whatever else, Lando should be ahead of Oscar Piastri. Okay, fine. But when Oscar Piastri has been doing the job. He's been delivering and he's been consistent. Another guy who had a horrific Australian Grand Prix when it all just fell apart for him. But you know what he did after that? He strung some wins together in a row. I made a video about why this title race is already over, and it's Oscars. And that's another reason why he's the number one in my list, because he's won the championship in Formula One in 2025. News flash. And I know some of you are thinking, geez, Peter, just freaking calm down, slow down, relax. There's nothing to relax about here, people. I know a champion when I see it, and your champion in Formula One in 2025 is Oscar Piastri. Just fast forward to November. How hilarious it would be if he doesn't win the championship. And feel free to have a go at me, no doubt. 216 points Piastri's got. 5 wins in Formula One this season. He's got 9 podiums. The guy is there, present. If he's not winning, he's on the podium. He's on the podium. One of his worst results was Canada, P4. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Australia, of course, was it P9 or whatever in Australia? But that was an unforeseen circumstance and whatnot. But he's been there. And Lando Norris is having the fight of his life. He thought he was fighting Max Verstappen in 2025. Excuse you me. He is fighting Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri has been consistent. He has been on it. He has delivered. That's why he is the best in 2025 at the midway point of this season. Comment down your people below. Who are your top 5? Is my rankings wrong? Are my top 5 wrong? If they are wrong, let's have a debate. Let's have a conversation, because I believe you're wrong if this is not your top 5. So let's have a conversation. Comment down below and smash a like on the video if you like Formula One content like this. If you like my list, smash a like on this video. YouTube thinks you'll like this video over here, and then check out the next ratings that are going to keep coming out on this channel right over here. But until next time, shout out to the Formula One 2025 season, because it's superb. I'm loving it. Until next time, lights out.